What is up? What is good? Cyberworld, it's your girl Ash Brown. Welcome to the Ash Brown Uncensored Show. It's the podcast show that's a little bit more unscripted than usual. And I talk a little bit about anything. It could be any number of things that's going on. It could be something that you guys shot me on an email. It could be something that you DM me. It may be something I woke up with this morning and said, you know what? On this Sunday, this uncensored Sunday, I'm going to talk about something. What I'm going to talk about today was something that just kind of struck a chord with me because I was in conversation with a dear friend of mine. And I said, the biggest lie ever told to young girls. Now, the years prior to puberty, puberty. My mom talked with me a lot about starting my period and what it's going to be like and the type of pads to use and your flow and how much of it is actual blood and blasey, blasey, blasey. So that was something that I had been told for so many years. So I was expecting it and I'm looking forward to it and all this great stuff. So I'm 11. It's the first day back from spring break. And my period starts that morning. And I remember feeling, I don't know, I just felt uneasy. I just felt like I had a tummy ache. I was like, I didn't have nothing crazy the night before. What is this? And come to find out, my cycle had started. And my mother at the time, she was doing shift work. So she had worked the graveyard shift and had just come off of work maybe 6 a.m. that morning and just got in, and I'm about to leave for school around that time. And I remember her being in her night clothes. She's up in the bed. She's comfortable. And she's like, okay, I'm knocking on the door. And she's like, okay, what is it? What do you need out of my life? What do you want out of my life? And I remember just kind of, sitting on the bed. I was like, okay, yeah, my period started today. Cycle started. And she just snapped out of it immediately. She's like, what? Oh my gosh, I just remember her putting her hands to her face and being like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for you to be a woman. I was like, okay, you think that this is totally how I wanted things to go? Because it's not. I didn't say it. I was thinking it. I did not say that. That woman had already flattened me one time too many. And I wasn't going to go down that street with her. It was early. It was early in the morning. And so going through the whole thing, and she was making sure that I had enough pads, and she was so really adamant about me having enough pads because I had some previously that she had gotten for me, which is how I knew how to use it and all that good stuff. But I went to school. No, matter of fact, she took me to school that day, and before I went to school, we went to the store, and she bought me more pads, and she basically stuffed my book bag. I had a book bag full of pads. It was insane. And I got to school and I remember just overall feeling like, okay, but why does my stomach hurt though? I get the whole bleeding part. I get it. I'm hemorrhaging. I get it. But why does my stomach feel like this? I remember turning to her and she's like, oh, we got to get you some Pamprin. We got to get you some Pamprin. I don't know if Pamprin's still even out there. Shout out to Pamprin. But that is to help ease PMS cramps. Symptoms to it and everything else like that. So we got me Pamprin. But I remember feeling kind of deceived and lied to because nobody said anything about cramps. It was never mentioned. And I remember bringing that up to a couple of other women and they were like, yeah, me neither. My mom didn't talk to me about cramps either. And one of them, my mama didn't even talk to her about PMS. I was like, well, that must have been a shock. That must have been a real big shock. But I want to hear from some of my other females out there. What was your period story like? When you started your cycle, do you feel like you were also lied to? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just here by myself on this limb trying to figure out why was the full story not given? Yeah, I give some of the story, not all of it. Why the full story was missing? And that's all I got to say for that. Because it just, I felt so lied to. I was like, And I remember kind of bringing it up to my mom as well, and her being like, well, that's just, sorry you felt that way, but, it is what it is. I'm like, that's not an answer, madam. That is not, but I left it at that. Because again, I didn't want to get backhanded again. Donna Teresa, she should have been in Major League Baseball because she could throw like no other I've ever seen on this earth. I'm just saying. But if you guys got comments about this, or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the only one that dealt with this, but I totally feel lied to. Deception will get you nowhere. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for your love, your support. Makes a huge difference. We're going to continue to push forward. The Ash Said It show has over 1,700 downloads. 1,700 episodes, more than 1,700 downloads. So we've got over 500,000 streams worldwide. And all of that is because of you guys, because of the love, because of the support. It makes a huge difference. And I wouldn't be here still doing what I do if you guys weren't loving on me. So I thank you for all the love, all the support. Makes a huge difference. And we're going to keep pushing forward. So have a great, fantabulous week, y'all. Tomorrow I do my top 3s. We talking HBO type stuff. It's an HBO kind of weekend. Just saying, just putting that out there. So I will see y'all on Facebook and on Instagram. I am One Love Ash across the board. I love y'all. Have a great one.